Welcome to Yoga for Beginners. So my name is Nam and we'll be going through a few little yoga postures here today just to open up the backs of the legs to the hamstrings, the lower back that typically gets tight on everyone, whether you're super active or you don't get to do much exercise or much yoga at all. Also, this is a nice little introduction to the yoga course that I'm running. So it's all based around beginners and what it takes to start getting into yoga practice. It can look really confusing, I think, on the onset of looking at yoga, but this is where we dive into everything and kind of unscramble and demystify yoga as such. So I hope you enjoy this. Just be really open-minded, get ready to really be kind and love your body, and I'll see you on the yoga mat. Don't forget to share, like, subscribe, share this with a friend that might need this, and let me know if there's any other videos that you'd like me to make. Enjoy! Okay, so let's explore downward facing dog. So you're going to go on to all fours, hands shoulder width apart, spreading the hands and the fingers out nice and wide. You want to make sure your shoulders are just above your wrists. Now check out the knees and make sure they're just underneath your hips and the knees are hip distance apart. So you're going to lift the chest and heart away from the floor, draw your navel towards your lower spine, tuck the toes underneath, and now we have lift off. We're going to lift the hips up towards the sky, head moving downwards. Roll the shoulders away from the ears and let your legs or backs of the legs acclimatize, should I say, to downward facing dog. So if your heels are off the ground, it's not a problem at all. Work with what you've got, it's absolutely fine. You don't want to sort of force the heels down. This might sort of round the back, and you want to lengthen the spine instead. So scoop the navel towards the spine the whole time. Keep lifting your sit bones up towards the ceiling and roll the shoulders away from the ears. So once your body's acclimatized to downward facing dog now, you want to come up onto the balls of the feet. So lift the heels way off the ground and lift your buttocks nice and high up towards the sky. And then on your next exhale, you're going to lower the heels downwards towards the floor. So we're going to go for that 3 times. Inhale to lifting up. Exhaling to lower the heels down. 2 more times. Inhaling, lifting the hips nice and high. Exhaling to lower all the way down. Keep the shoulders away from the ears. Last round. And down we go. So whenever you're ready, slowly lower the knees downwards towards the floor and just sit back and take some of the weight there off the wrists. Especially if you're new to yoga. You really can feel it there in the wrists and the forearms there as you're trying to build strength. But the idea behind it is that you're not trying to constantly, push through the pain if there is any. So just know when to come out of it. Roll around the wrists and take a break when you need to. So the next pose that you're going to do is what's called Uttanasana, forward fold. So you can enter this via downward dog actually. So you're going to go into your downward dog. And then we're going to walk our feet forwards towards our hands or towards the head of your yoga mat, some instructors might say. So when you do this, just bear in mind that not everyone can walk the feet forwards towards the hands just like that. It takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of flexibility and openness in the hamstrings, backs of the knees, lower back as well. So if you find that you get stuck, just walk the hands towards the feet. It's not a problem at all. Okay, so let's do this together. So we're going to go onto all fours, making our checkpoints there with what the hands are doing, the hands being shoulder width apart, the knees being hip distance apart. And we're going to tuck the toes underneath, lift the hips up towards the sky, find your downward dog. If you find that you want to soften the knees a little bit, that's fine, it's not a problem. And from here, that lift up that we had, where we have the heels way off the ground, I want you to use that. Really wrap the triceps downwards towards the floor as you broaden the upper back. Keep the navel drawn in. Like I said, you can bend the knees all the way through this, and we're going to walk our feet forwards. Like I said, if you get stuck halfway and you need to walk the hands towards the feet instead, then go for it. Don't worry. So once you've landed the feet, they should be hip distance apart. And what you want to do is soften the knees now and find forward fold. This is more the therapeutic version that we're coming into of forward fold. So let the arms hang heavy, let the knees soften just a little bit, and just allow your body to kind of hang over the legs, maybe the thighs, as you're here. You don't have to be eager to get into the more sort of, if you Googled it, the traditional classic pose of the legs being straight away. So from here, we're just going to hold onto our forearms. And as you hang on to sort of opposite hand to opposite elbow, I want you to think about really letting the torso be nice and long. So let the body hang downwards towards the floor and let your butt really lift nice and high up towards the sky. I'm still bending the knees to let the backs of my legs acclimatize to this forward fold. And I want to bend the knees to focus more on opening up through the lower back, which I think gets tight for everyone. If you feel comfortable with this next part, bend the knees a little bit more and see if you just can sway a little bit, side to side. Don't get too vigorous with this one because you don't want to fall over or anything, but just invite some space here along the sides of the body. And then whenever you're ready, kind of sway back towards the center, taking a nice deep breath. Good. And then release the hands. So you've been here for a while with this forward fold. So what I'm going to do is bring the hands down towards the floor, shoulder width apart, and bend the knees more, walking the feet back. You should be on all fours again, roughly, and then come back down into just sit back there onto the heels. Again, take the weight off, the legs, the wrists, everything, just have a nice little breather. Okay, so our next pose is going to be plank pose. I've got a love-hate relationship with this one. I love it because of the amount of strength that it builds, and it's a really good foundation pose. But on the other hand, I used to really hate it because my arms weren't very strong in order to hold me. But I didn't realize for a long time, it's not to do just with the arms, it's the whole body has got to work. So let's go for it. So our entry into this is all fours for this one actually. So the same thing applies, hands shoulder width apart, spread the hands up nice and wide, push away the floor. So that way you activate the chest, that pushing action in order to gain a really good plank. So whenever you're ready, we step one foot back and you can look at that foot position, make sure that the leg is fully stretched out behind you. And whenever you're ready, navel to spine, let's go for it, going into full plank. Here we go, let's hold. Okay, so I'll give you a few pointers here so that you're not, in absolute agony whilst you're doing this. So as I mentioned, pushing away the floor, not just with the chest lifting up, but I want you to think about really trying to draw the navel towards that lower back to protect the spine, the lower back there as you're in plank. The arms might wobble and shake, that's normal. Roll your shoulders away from the ears and push slightly into the heels. So try not to have all your weight forwards into the tippy toes. Recruit the legs, so think about the thighs being super strong, the buttocks, the lower core, drawing in, hug your ribs in as well. Try and relax the face and try and look happy all the way through this. And remember, you can always come down and out, bring your knees down towards the floor. It's intense, but I'll take you through that again, but what you're going to do is there's going to be a little swaying action side to side. See how the wrists feel with this one. But I found this was really helpful to build my endurance up in plank because whilst you're moving, you're not sort of thinking about how long you're in the pose for. It just helps. There's a sort of mental benefit as well as a physical benefit behind it. Okay, so whenever you're ready, we're going to plank, all fours, and we'll take the opposite foot back to the normal now. So left foot back, chest lifting, navel to spine, big breath in. Exhale, take that foot back. Level off your tailbone towards the heels there. So avoid the bum lifting up or sagging. Okay, so you want to be in that really nice, everything hugging in towards your center line here at this point. Stay nice and strong, stay with me, and then gently rock side to side with your shoulders and your hips. Yeah, it should feel hard. That's normal. I can feel it too. Okay, press down through the juicy parts of your thumbs the whole way. Keep pushing away. 1, 2, 3, 4, center, and knees down. Roll around those wrists, nice and slow. Take care of your body all the way through. If you need to open up through the neck, maybe do a few you know, neck movements there, side to side, left and right. Maybe some nice little circles up and down, roll the shoulders back. I hope you enjoyed that. Thanks so much for joining me on that one. I hope you liked this. Maybe share this with someone who you know that needs to do a little bit of yoga. Give us a like, a thumbs up. Tell me how you got on with this, if you felt like there was something missing, or if you've got any ideas on, you know, more content that you want. So, you know, anything else that you feel like, yeah, I want to work on that, and we can do yoga together. All right, thanks so much. Bye.